Qingxiao made a huge impression during the latest main story quest, and from what we saw there, we already have a pretty good idea of the kind of playstyle she's going to have. Combined with the fact that her dedicated echo set is already in the game, we can learn quite a lot about what her kit is likely to do. So in this video I will go over everything we currently know about Qingxiao, including her abilities and playstyle, her best team compositions, weapon options, echo builds, her overall value, and whether she's actually worth pulling for your account. Before we dive deep down into it, please hit the like and subscribe button to support me. Now if you have done that, let's get this video started. As mentioned, Qingxiao is shaping up to be the new top tier main DPS. She has been confirmed as an Arrow Sword Resonator, and that alone already tells us quite a bit. Since she's releasing right after Xuanling, who is also a main DPS capable of dealing an absurd amount of damage, it's going to make sense for Qingxiao to be extremely powerful as well. On top of that, Cartesia and Sigrica is still the strongest arrow damage dealers in the game, so the standard for arrow DPS characters is already very high. Anyways, Qingxiao is a 5-star Arrow Sword Resonator, and she's expected to release in the first half of version 3.6, which should arrive around August 20th. Do keep in mind that her kit is still in the beta, so some details may change before release. Qingxiao is built around two resources, Qing Heart and Sword Cadence. Her string style attacks generate Qing Spirit, while her sword focus attacks generate Sword Cadence. Because of that, her rotation revolves around alternating between both attack styles to fill both gauge efficiently. Her basic attack combo naturally transitions between two sword stances, and completing the combo allows her to access both sides of her kit. Once both Qing Heart and Sword Cadence are full, Qingxiao can use her heavy attack to consume both resources and enter enhanced state. This enhanced state changes her attack patterns, grant access to stronger abilities, and of course a new Forte bar, where she has to perform basic attack sequences while in the enhanced form to fill this, and then later unlock her special finisher, which is her enhanced heavy attack. Her resonance skill changes depending on her current attack sequence, and her intro skill grants Sword Cadence while applying some special effects, which allows the resonance skill to generate even more Qing Heart. This ensures the smooth rotation and makes her quickly fill her normal Forte. Her Forte circuit is centered around enhanced state and the interaction between her two resources and enhanced attacks. She also has a special Mind Lock mechanic, for every stack of this will amplify her damage even further. Her Resonance Liberation appears to be her main burst ability, where every time you cast this ability, she will increase the damage multiplier of her enhanced heavy attack by 100%. Even without seeing her actual multipliers, it's reasonable to expect Qingxiao to be a very strong damage dealer. What we know for sure is that she is built around the Toon Strain mechanic. Her dedicated echo set is specifically designed for Toon Strain and requires the user to inflict Toon Strain shifting in order to activate the self-buff effects. That means, much like Luke Herson, Qingxiao will apply Toon Strain shifting through her own abilities. Because of that, she will naturally share many of the same Toon Break synergies those characters use, which could become a slight issue for players who are already using those supports in other teams. Based on the echo set, Qingxiao should be able to both apply Toon Strain shifting and react to Toon Strain interfere, giving her additional damage against enemies affected by Toon Break effects. There could also be mechanics in her kit that reward repeatedly applying Toon Strain shifting, which would make Toon Break focused teammates even more valuable for her. As for her actual combat style, Qingxiao clearly follows the Sword Master controlling countless blades type. From what we have seen, she does not even need to physically hold a sword, and her attacks seem to work more like Jinxi's blade manipulation. That suggests she will have flashy animations, a lot of visual spectacle, and potentially ranged sword attacks, which would make her feel much more comfortable to play than a typical melee DPS. Overall, everything points toward Qingxiao being extremely satisfying and powerful arrow DPS, and if your account is looking for a new main carry, she is definitely someone worth paying attention to. As for weapons, her signature weapon is almost certainly going to be a strong investment. Since Qingxiao is a main DPS responsible for most of the team's damage, her signature should significantly increase both her performance and her long-term value for your account. This weapon provides 36% crit rate as its substat, its passive increases attack by 12%, and after applying Toon Strain shifting, the wielder gains arrow damage bonus for 2 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. The effect can trigger every 0.5 seconds, and once fully stacked, the duration is extended to 15 seconds. While fully active, Qingxiao's arrow damage also ignores 10% of the target's defense. Other potential alternatives include Blazing Brilliance for resonance skill focused builds, and it also has nice crit damage stats for her. And then since she also greatly appreciates basic attack amplification, Red Spring or Camellia's signature should also work for her. Using this weapon also let her deal damage more consistently thanks to the crit rate stats. And then the Emerald Sentence or G1 signature could also work. Qingxiao is capable of dealing a huge amount of damage from her enhanced heavy attack, so once you activate her Echo skill, she will instantly gain that 30% heavy attack amp, though she definitely won't be able to gain the full benefit from this weapon's passive due to having a limited Echo skill usage. If you skip Signature, Emerald Genesis should remain the safest universal alternative for any Sword Resonator. It gives 24% crit rate, 12% energy, and after casting Resonance skill, it increases attack by 6%, stacking up to 2 times for 10 seconds. Unfortunately, unlike Luke, she won't be able to utilize the new standard weapon set, as the Laser Shearer has its passive something to do with Toon Strain, but the stat it gives is energy, which is something that Qingxiao won't be needed. Looking at her current situation now, I guess she will benefit from Liberation, Basic, or Heavy Attack Amplification. So that makes her weapon option more varied, but at the same time, none of that really the ideal choice for her, aside from her own signature. For Echoes, things are much easier because her dedicated set is already available, the Heart of Evil's Purge. The 2-piece will give her 10% arrow damage, and then for the 5 pieces, after inflicting Toon Strength Shifting, you gain 20% crit damage and 30% additional arrow damage for 15 seconds. This confirms once again that Qingxiao is expected to apply Toon Strength Shifting herself, making her somewhat self-sufficient even though she still prefers Toon Break teammates. The only thing you can't fully prepare yet is her 4-cost Echo, because the current 4-cost Echo in that set is designed for fusion damage, not arrow. So you can safely farm 2-cost, 3-cost, and 1-cost pieces now, but you will need to wait for version 3.6 to get her proper 4-cost. For stats, the standard DPS setup should be crit rate or crit damage on the 4-cost, depending on which weapon you will use for her. If you are using her signature that already gives her a good crit rate, then it's probably better to give her crit damage in the 4-cost. And then for both of her cost 3, arrow damage bonus should do the job very well, but at least save some attack pieces to see if she ends up performing better with the combination of arrow plus attack once she officially releases. And then finally for all the 1-cost, attack percent is mandatory. And for substats, you should prioritize crit rate, crit damage, and attack. When it comes to team building, her role as Toon Strain DPS makes things very straightforward. She will want teammates that directly support the Toon Break mechanic. Her strongest composition currently looks like Qingxiao, Denia, and Morny. Denia is especially important because she provides 40 Toon Break boosts, 40% all damage amplification through her outro, increased off-toon build-up on enemies affected by Toon Strength Shifting, additional applications of Toon Strength Shifting, and strong personal damage and crowd control for AoE content. This makes Denia one of Qingxiao's most synergistic sub-DPS options. Another excellent alternative is Lene. She can apply both Toon Strength Shifting and Toon Raptor Shifting, while also providing several powerful universal buffs, including another 40 Toon Break boosts. She won't be quite as optimal as Denia for Qingxiao specifically, but she is still an outstanding option if you already own and use her. For the support slot, Morny is clearly the best choice because she is a dedicated Toon Break support and provides things like 40% all damage bonus and increased off-toon build-up rate. Other universal supports such as Shorekeeper can work, but replacing Morny will generally hurt Qingxiao performance much more than replacing Denia or Lene. For free-to-play team, you could form something like Qingxiao, Sanhua, and Verena. Sanhua here will provide Qingxiao a great basic attack amplification and of course, for fast rotations. But since Qingxiao is the type of character that does not have a specific kind of combat tags, except Toon Strength Shifting and main DPS, she probably can also work with Mortophy that can amplify heavy attack. Compared to the premium Toon Strength setup, you can expect roughly 20 to 30% less total team damage, but if your Qingxiao is fully geared already plus a shield endgame buff for her, the difference should still be manageable. The downside of her team comes that Qingxiao currently has a very limited flexibility. She really wants a Toon Break oriented sub DPS, so if you're already using Denia, Lene, or Morny with another Toon Break carry such as Amy or Luke, pulling Qingxiao could force you to rearrange your existing teams. Overall, it was obvious from the moment Qingxiao was revealed that she was intended to be a top tier main DPS. Her story introduction and dedicated Echo set only reinforced that expectation. If your account needs a new main DPS and you already own strong Toon Break supports such as Denia, Lene, or Morny, then Qingxiao looks like a very easy recommendation. On the other hand, if those supports are already tied to Amy or Luke, then the decision becomes much more about personal preference than raw power. Realistically, Qingxiao should outperform older Toon Break DPS characters, otherwise there would be little reason to move premium supports away from the existing teams. So I'm not really worried about her damage being lower than Amy or Luke. If you don't currently have Toon Break main DPS but you do own Denia or Lene, then Qingxiao is probably a perfect option. If you already have established Toon Break teams, then the question is simply how much you like Qingxiao's design and playstyle. One final thing to keep in mind that Xin is expected to arrive in version 3.7. If you would rather invest in a powerful unit that does not only rely on the toon break mechanic, it may be worth waiting one more version, especially since Xin has the potential to become one of the strongest DPS characters in the entire game. And that's everything we currently know about Qingxiao. So tell me in the comments, are you going to pull Qingxiao once the new update starts, or are you going to save for Jingran and Xin instead? If you found this video helpful, please hit the like and subscribe button, turn notification as well so you won't be missing out on any of my Wuthering Wave content. I will see you guys on my next one. Bye bye!